This is Moneymane, you already know, and I'm the originator and creator of Prime Equity Clause. I need it documented, and y'all gonna be my witness. I gotta control the narrative of what Prime Equity is, because the AIs and these people that using it, they don't even know. They don't even know what it is, exactly what it is, and how it's supposed to use, because they not the originator, they not the creator. Now, a lot of these AIs and a lot of these people been talking about Prime Equity the wrong way. It is not a real clause and is not in Shedeur's contract yet. Notice I said yet. And Dion did not create this clause. I did. The clause Prime Equity is a concept that blends brand power, media leverage, and ownership mindset inspired by Dion and carried by Shedeur. But like I said, it's not a real clause yet, but it leverages Shedeur's brand and NIL legacy. Prime equity means, the official definition of prime equity means a player's total value beyond the field, including their media brand, fan base influence, content rights, merch sales, NIL history, and ability to generate attention, revenue, and culture. It's the prime way of doing business, not just playing the game, but owning the attention, audience, and upside. Now, I need people to understand that and to see that. I am the originator and the creator of this mess, and I'm getting sick of time. This mess done made it to TikTok. It's getting everywhere. I appreciate it getting everywhere, but I need folks to understand exactly what it is. I gotta control the narrative of this thing right here. So with that being said, we gotta take a look at it again. Is a player's total value beyond the field, including their brand, fan base influence, content rights, merch sales, NIL history, and ability to generate attention, revenue, and culture. It's the prime way of doing business, not just playing the game, but owning the attention, audience, and upside. This is how it works. Like I said again, repeat, this is not a real clause and is not in Shedeur's contract at this moment. I was doing research on the potential future contract that Shedeur Sanders could get from the Cleveland Browns, and I created Prime Equity, which you see on the screen right now. He can leverage his media presence, his merch plus NIL legacy, streaming and storytelling, Coach Prime link, and business acumen. Now, the media and presence come from Shedeur vlogs, YouTube, IG lives, Twitch. That's direct to fan marketing machine. Merch plus NIL legacy, legendary brand collabs, NIL wealth from college, independent monetization power. Streaming and storytelling can build his own docuseries, live stream, cuts out ESPN, middleman. Coach Prime link ties to Dion, audience, media, culture, built in brand infrastructure, business acumen. As a team, brand strategy, vision, negotiates like an owner. Now, with that being said, Prime Equity is only for players that have a big brand and following. A lot of NFL players don't have that already coming into the NFL. Shedeur is the exception. That's why I came up with this idea as far as Prime Equity, where Shedeur can leverage his whole total brand of his celebritism, his NFL, his skill, his NIL, and his merch, everything that he got as his brand, he can leverage it to an NFL to put it in that side of NFL contract. So Shedeur can get paid for Prime Equity plus his production. That means contract incentives for media appearances, revenue shares from merch tied to his brand, production rights for his own docuseries or social media content, marketing bonuses based on viewership, just not stats. And like I said, Shedeur can generate 10 million views in a season. He could get $10 million bonus from the NFL because, let me explain it. Shedeur can grab attention from people that don't watch the NFL or don't know that nothing about the NFL through his content that drive them to the NFL so they can watch and consume more NFL content through his media. So basically, he uses his presence to drive more revenue, more consumption, more consumers to the NFL, in this case, the Cleveland Browns. As you can see, this has already happened. But the Prime Equity clause is not in his contract. He has already driven people to drive and purchase his jersey and to watch the Cleveland Browns just solely on him being on the team. That is the concept of prime equity. It's a business, it's a player, it's a business model. Brand equity becomes as valuable as throwing touchdowns. Is what separates Shedeur from traditional quarterbacks. He's just not chasing contract, he's creating assets. Prime equity equals Shedeur's unique leverage as an elite athlete, content creator, culture icon, and media mogul in the making. He's not just playing in the NFL, he's bringing the entire media ecosystem with him. And creator of this thing, so we got to correct this narrative before we get out of hand. I watched this TikTok, and this dude was saying it all wrong. He's saying wherever he got it from, he said it was already in the contract. That is false. It is not already in the contract. Tag me. I left a comment though, but my TikTok ain't the same name. Well, I do got Moneymane. You already know TikTok, but my main TikTok that I be on is not Moneymane. You already know. It's called the Prime Effect. Now, this is a mock contract clause. See, this is what they don't show you in the video. They be talking about it, but they don't show you none of this stuff beside my face in it. In recognition of players' extraordinary media reach, brand influence, and independent content production capability, prime equity, the team agrees to the following performance-based equity incentives and media bonuses. A, brand viewership bonus. If a player's official YouTube, Instagram, or Twitch content exceeds 10 million aggregated views during the regular season, player receive a $2 million bonus. So Shedeur would get paid for a certain amount of views that he get on his content. Now it could be for as YouTube, he gotta hit a certain amount, Instagram, he gotta hit a certain amount, Twitch, he gotta hit a certain amount, or it could be a total of all three or all his social medias where he get views on to equal up a certain number, and he can get paid whatever bonus from the NFL team. Because like I told y'all, he bringing more consumers to that whatever team he on. Get what I'm saying? So he bringing more viewers, more money, more revenue to the Cleveland Browns right now. So he would get paid from his brand for as the YouTube, social media, Instagram, Twitch, for the views he generate. Now B, the content ownership clause. Player retains exclusive ownership rights to all non-team affiliated behind-the-scenes content filmed during the NFL season, including Vlog style series and live streams. This is where Bucket and Well-Off Media come into play, to where he can have his own docu-series, his own behind-the-scenes, like they've been doing with Well-Off Media, following him through his NFL journey, NFL season, something like that in Netflix show Quarterback. But it would just be straight Shedeur Sanders. You know what I'm saying? It'd be straight Shedeur Sanders. Even what he put on Twitch, what he put on YouTube, he owns the right to all that. But we can actually see day to day what he does as an NFL quarterback. I know how big this thing is. That's why I came up with it. And I ain't about to let no distraction, which is all these folk copying me and not knowing the real thing. I ain't gonna let the distraction stop me from where I'm trying to go, because I know my destination. I know what it's gonna be. So I don't need to get distracted. I got distracted for like 2 days, but I know what I did and I know what it means, and I got it on my page and I know what I can do with it. C, merchandising revenue share. Player receive 20% of all team merchandising sales directly, featuring players' name, likeness, or approved brand slogan. Legendary. Then it got number 5 right there, but it's supposed to be 12 built different. So Shedeur does not receive 20% of his jersey sales. That's a all team merchandise sale. That's different from just jersey sales. Now I know y'all done seen that $250 million. I done did a video on that. I'm gonna release that too. I done did a video on that. He did not generate $250 million in jersey sales by himself. And there's no way he can get 2/3 of $130. There's $86 a jersey. There's $86 million if he sell 1 million jerseys. That revenue is shared in a pool with all the NFL players as a collective. You saying he getting 2/3? But do the calculations. What is 2/3 of 130? If each jersey costs $130 and he getting 2/3, that's $86. And if he got the #1 selling jersey as a rookie, you know he up near 1 million jerseys sold. I just did that as a baseline, 1 million. And then I even compared it to Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. I compared it right here on live. If Mahomes only selling $1 million and some change, doing a Super Bowl run, and Tom Brady, when he went to Tampa Bay, sold 1.3 million, Shedeur ain't made no 14 to 15 million dollars off no jersey. If Tom Brady sold 1.3 million jerseys when he went to the Buccaneers and only made $6 to $8 million, Shedeur ain't sold 1.3 million jerseys and made 14 million, because you only gonna get $3 to $5 per jersey. He get 2 to 4%, because the NFL, the think about this now. Y'all know how business work. Wow, how would Shedeur get 2/3 if he didn't create the jersey and make the jersey? All they did was put his name on it. Yeah, his name is selling it, but that's what I'm saying. They gotta pay fanatics. They gotta pay the folk that make the jersey. The NFL take their cut, and the NFLPA take their cut. He can't get 86 million. He can't get 2/3 if it ain't 2/3 the shell. You know what I'm saying? He probably get 2/3 of what's left, but he don't get 2/3 off top. He don't get 2/3 off top, because you got to pay the manufacturer that created the jersey. You got to give money to the NFL, and you got to give money to the NFLPA. He only get 2 to 4% each jersey. That's $3 to $5 out of 130. Multiply that by $1 million, you get $3 to $5 million, which is still a lot, but it's not 14 and it's not 250 million. I had to break it down. Now, E, equity match option. Team agrees to offer a brand equity match clause, allowing player the opportunity to co-invest in future team-affiliated media projects or NIL-backed ventures. This probably would not be in there. Co-invest in future team-affiliated media projects. I wouldn't think the team, Cleveland Browns, would allow Shedeur to invest in a media project that isn't about him. Like if it was about Myles Garrett, I don't think they would let Shedeur invest in it. But it is a good idea. But this whole prime equity thing is to generate an asset for the NFL players for a lifetime. But it's not an official number on how many jerseys sales he done sold. It's not an official number yet. So yeah, we done cleared that up a little bit. It's the originator and the creator. I'm gonna tell you like it is. Then another thing they said, which is not on here. That's why I know they took my stuff. Because this is not even on here. I came up with this in my head about the NIL. When I said about Quinn Ewers got drafted in the 7th round, he got drafted in the 7th round when he could have made $8 million if he would have stayed in college. And he only getting paid $4.4 million in the NFL, and that's over 4 years. He can get the whole $8 million in 1 year. So I said, what if players, only top tier players like Shedeur, Quinn Ewers, that was the starter on their team and had a lot of buzz around them before the draft happened. They were projected to be first round picks, but they fell to the 5th round or later, or fell to the 4th round or later. What I'm saying is they making less money in the NFL than they was making in college. Shedeur was making $6.5 million in the NIL in college. He's getting paid $4.6 million right now. He was making $6.5 million in 1 year in college. Now he's making $4.6 million 4 years in the NFL. So my theory was, what if players, high caliber players, came to the NFL demanding that they only get the minimum of their NIL? Like Shedeur in this instance. Shedeur fell to the 5th round. He only get 4.6. If Shedeur would have demanded with the prime equity clause, he could have demanded that he get $6.5 million, the minimum for his NFL contract, because that's what he made in NIL money in college. That's what I'm talking about with that. That didn't come from none of this. This came from my brain. I made that up. It came from my brain. So they probably done took this mock press release and turned it into a real thing. Because it what dude put up on their TikTok. He was like, it's in the clause. It's in his contract. It's not in his contract yet. Because I based it off the future. The future contract Shedeur Sanders could receive. That is the prime equity clause. Give me a round of applause if y'all agree.
We're not just playing no more, we own it.
Moneymane.
Prime equity, prime equity.
Prime equity created by us. For us. Oh, no. Yeah. Draft day came, they low ball the price. 5th round pick, but my name's the dice. Said I lost 40 mil, now I flipped it twice. Turned my story to stock, every throw in the rights. Jersey sales views, every clip gon' pay. But not to the team, that equity stay. NFL said sign this, I said wait. Let me build with the ones who don't split the plate. Prime Rudy, I own my name, not just a player. I built this game, pay me what I create, not just to play. The money tied to move the prime way. Prime Rudy, yeah. Prime Rudy, ooh, Shedeur and Moneymane. We set the tone, legacy. No